I'm going to start with the open public meeting statement. New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies, at which time any business affecting their interest is discussed and acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this Act and Board of Education Policy 0162, the Board of Education of the Borough of Bound Brook has caused notice of this meeting to be posted in the board office and at Bound Brook High School and mailed or faxed to the Courier News, Bound Brook Borough Clerk, South Bound Brook Board of Education, and any person who has requested individual notice and paid the required fee. Can we stand for the pledge? All right, Mr. Gorski, your last roll call.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Mr. Bell's in attendance. Mr. Dawson? Yes. Ms. Gazzino?
Yes.
Ms. High?
Yes.
Mr. Incalcatera?
Yes.
Mr. Januzzi? Mr. Minhas?
Yes.
Ms. Moosen?
Yes.
Mr. Volmer?
Mr. Volmer is here, but taking care of something in the parking lot for a second.
So noted. And Mr. Zupko?
Here.
Mr. Acting Board President, you have a quorum present this evening.
All right, thank you. With my comments tonight, we're going to do something a little special. In recognition of Mr. Gorski's retirement, I would like to move a motion recognizing his career and accomplishments in Bound Brook. Okay, I think I made the motion, so we just need a second. So we'll go to Ms. High. I'm going to read the motion here. It's a little lengthy, so bear with me. Whereas after 26 years of school business administration, concluding in Bound Brook School District, Michael C. Gorski has faithfully served as school business administrator, board secretary, demonstrating unwavering dedication, exceptional leadership, and a steadfast commitment to the students, staff, and community. And whereas Michael C. Gorski has exemplified the highest standards of professionalism, integrity, and fiscal stewardship, ensuring the responsible management of district resources and the advancement of educational excellence. And whereas Michael C. Gorski's vision, expertise, and collaborative spirit have contributed immeasurably to the growth and success of the district, leaving a lasting legacy of innovation, efficiency, and care. And whereas the Board of Education, colleagues, and community members join together to express their deepest gratitude and admiration for Michael C. Gorski's remarkable career and enduring impact. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education hereby honors and congratulates Michael C. Gorski on the occasion of retirement and commemorates 26 years of stellar service as school business administrator with heartfelt appreciation and best wishes for happiness and fulfillment in all future endeavors. Adopted by the Bound Brook Board of Education at the public meeting on June 25th, 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Bell, and members of the Board of Education.
Okay, we, assuming there are no comments, we need to vote on this motion. So we'll need a roll call vote.
So noted. Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Mr. Dawson?
Yes.
Ms. Gazzino?
Absolutely, yes.
Ms. High?
Yes.
Mr. Incalcatera?
Yes.
Mr. Januzzi? Absent. Mr. Minhas? Ms. Moosen? Mr. Volmer? And Mr. Zupko?
Yes.
Mr. Acting Board President, motion passes.
Okay. With that,
Mr.
We have a
Balafai.
few more things, Mr. Gorski.
Oh, boy.
Ms. High, I think you're up next.
Believe it or not, I have something to say. Yeah. So, Mike, we have a little gift for you from all the board members. And this is really kind of man cave stuff for you to enjoy. I will tell you too, there are two other things coming that will be here shortly. Are you going to be here on the 30th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we will see you before then, but I'm going to hand this over to you, and please know how appreciative we are of all that you have done for Bound Brook. It just touches our hearts very deeply. Do we want him?
Mr. Ball, if I may just say a few brief words. I would like to very warmly express how much the recognition tonight feels. I am so grateful to have been offered an opportunity to serve Dr. Freeman, the Bound Brook Board of Education, and the Bound Brook community in Bound Brook in the capacity of School Business Administrator Board Secretary in what may be defined as one of the most progressive and transitional periods in district history. Since I began work with Dr. Freeman, through his and the board's vision, we redesigned the way that the board does business through public meetings as well as the establishment of a board by committee structure. The members work hard in deliberations each month, and as you've seen at the meetings, each chair reports each month the highlights of the meeting, and that's shared publicly until formal board action can be executed commemorating the action item. In my opinion, this is the epitome of how a board should govern and operate, and each member of this Board of Education should feel a great sense of pride and accomplishment. Next, we overhauled the financial reporting structure so that the financial reports are balanced, relevant, and reliable. Our audit performance in the past 2 years has been unblemished, but it is where the budget resources are being spent and deployed that is the most significant improvement. Approximately 60% to 2/3 of all budget spending is now directed toward student instruction. Take a look at the new departments of ESL bilingual, guidance, special services, technology, the various school designs, and especially the facilities department. We are now the envy of many other school districts and our peers. And we accomplished simultaneously with these goals an increase of significant amounts in all of the district surplus and reserve accounts. I want to thank my wife and my son who are here. Karen, you heard every story, every challenge, every accomplishment. And in the past 26 years, all the recognition that you hear tonight is truly yours. And certainly it's without saying that God's perpetual overwatch, listening and blessing, without such, nothing would be possible. So thank you very much. I really cherish the opportunity and the time that I've spent here and the relationships that I'll always continue with. And I thank everybody for the opportunity.
Mike, I know everyone spoke, and I know we've spoken several times, and I told you how much what you've done and what you've meant. But in 3 years, I've watched you do what many times takes a seasoned business administrator 10 to 12 years to do. What I admire most about you is, one, of course, your financial stewardship, as you call it, but the fact that you put children first. If ever anybody wanted something and they said kids needed it, you made it happen. That's one of the things I admire most. And the second thing is you're just a great human being. You're from the old school in terms of being polite, thinking things through, and wanting to help people. And I appreciate that. I'm going to miss you very much, but I know we'll stay connected. Miss Skorsky, I want to thank you because you allowed us to have him. All those weekends he worked and those nights staying on the computer, so we appreciate that and your family. But Mike, I want to say on behalf of the whole community, we're going to miss you. We thank you for what you've done, and it's not over. We'll stay in touch.
Okay. Well, actually, Mr. Superintendent, you are up next with your report.
Okay, that was my report.
I believe we have a presentation.
Yes, we have a presentation. Mr. Ross? Okay.
For the presentation, we usually go down there, so you can see the screen. No, we're coming. So might as well come down.
What? This won't be long, right? I'm talking.
Trip over
You know,
all my
no,
guys.
we got. Yeah. Yeah, it'll open. We hope. So as we transition here, I do want to echo everything that was said about Mr. Gorski. I've been in this show for 30 years, 28 actually, and a very impressive person as a human being, but also as a professional. So enjoy all that you do after this journey now. And with that, we're going to look at our HIV report. This report is really about 23-24 and how we did, but I brought forward 24-25 results so we have something to compare and understand. And I wanted to start with blue screen because that's what we're all familiar with. We're just waiting. It's the blue screen of death. Remember that? Hey, you know, we've been there, we've done that. So once it pops up, what we'll see is the tale of two wolves. I wanted to start off with that. It's a Cherokee story. And HIB is really, the goal is to help students better manage their emotions and make sure that they are seeing how the power of words can impact themselves and other people. So this tale, when it comes up. So the tale of two wolves. I'll read it for you and it'll pop up here at the screen. So one evening, an elderly Cherokee brave told his grandson about the battle that goes on inside people. He said, "My son, the battle is between two wolves inside all of us. One is evil, anger, envy, jealousy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, false pride, superiority, and ego. The other is good. It's joy, peace, love, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith," as Mr. Gorski reminded us of. The grandson thought about it for a minute and then asked his grandfather, "Which wolf wins?" The answer to that, the grandfather said, simply, the one that you feed, the one that you pay attention to. So for us, this is what we're trying to do. Teach students with social emotional learning to pay attention to and to feed the wolf that is joy, peace, love, hope, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. So I feel like we're going to have scene soon. So HIB numbers. He's restarting. So what I will do is I will just start over here. It'll appear up there in a minute. So this is what you have to do. Teach students how to improvise and manage as you go on the fly here. So, all right, perfect. So we can switch over. So there we are. Let me make sure. All right. All right, so then I can go back. Well, is it going back? Okay, and there we go. All right, so we're back. So I did want to start off with that tale to show you that we have focused on HIB training over the past year. So together we thrive. There's communicative action, which is what we just talked about. What is it that we're feeding? What are we paying attention to? That's been a major theme throughout. So when we look at our HIB numbers, there's core elements that the state wants us to review. It's training, professional development, it's curriculum and instruction, and it's instructional and staff engagement. So these are the things that we needed to pay attention to. Last year's scores helped us figure out things that we should do differently. So we've done year-long HIB policy training for specialists. We targeted specialist training through state programs. We added, we'll see soon, the high school, 2 specialists rather than 1 to help us out. Those numbers will be something that we should be very proud of. The data that we reviewed had led to conversations, and now in Smalley in the high school, we're working specifically with Dr. Joyce, who you may have heard of, who's dealing with social emotional and empowering students to believe in themselves. So one, not only just the victim of HIB is being, helped, but also the person who is the offender, the, proverbial bully, who can then think about how they are acting, impacting others. So another major component is the superintendent report that we give you on a weekly basis. The feedback between Dr. Freeman, myself, the lawyer, and the board has really helped to change the structure of that. And that, I think, has helped us address what we do with students and also how we present it. The curriculum, we've revised the social emotional learning. So we've moved beyond just the pillars of character for students, and we have social emotional training. We have ongoing collaboration between all the specialists at the different schools, Smalley, CMS, and the high school. And then the SEL programs courses are embedded into the classroom as well. So you can also see that there's annual district-wide HRB training. We've increased responsiveness to staff feedback. That was one of the reasons why we added 2 specialists at the high school rather than 1. So the other components are personnel structure enhancements. We had 2 new specialists at the high school. We've expanded multilingual guidance staff. That's also helpful for supporting all of our students. We've increased access to student services through multiple specialists. So we're targeting students' needs, not just waiting for things to happen. With the reporting and investigation process, we did school level HIB incident reporting protocols. We've established those. We've reviewed those on a pretty much monthly and weekly basis. The other part is we revised our investigation procedures where the counselor doesn't have to work with students who are on their caseload. That was an important shift. So same thing with Smalley. If the counselor is working with a student on their caseload, they don't have to do the investigation. That was a very fruitful transition. And again, the superintendent HIB reports that the board reviews on a weekly basis has become a very important component for us to think about and reflect on how we help students. So to that degree, the HIB reporting culture is important, that students feel comfortable coming forward, that parents feel comfortable coming forward, staff feel comfortable coming forward and saying something about it if they are feeling bullied, harassed, or intimidated. So I think we've done an important job with that. We've increased the collaboration between the principal, myself, and the superintendent to make sure we're doing things. So here's a quick view of the numbers as a comparison. So this is a bit of extra, not required by the state for this presentation, but I think it's fruitful for us to get a sense of the changes that happened since last year. So from our 23-24, we had 80 total HIBs reported. This year we only had, you can see 57. So when we think about it, I did a little bit of math, and it goes back to the story of the wolf, right? What do we feed? And what are we focusing on, the good or the negative? So when you think about it, this year, 57 total reported HIBs for 1,400 students, right? Because mostly it's Smalley, CMS, and the high school. That's 1,400 students, 450 in Smalley, 250 in CMS, 700 in the high school. So 1,400 students, let's say they have 60 interactions a day, right, with anybody. That's small. That's 84,000. There's 180 school days. That's 15,120,000. So out of 15,120,000, we have 57 issues. One is too many, but it's what we feed. And I think we've done a very good job of addressing some issues. One thing I really want to highlight up there is you look at the high school from last year to this year. There is a dramatic drop. I think that's due in part to the process with the superintendent report. We have a new guidance department where we have three bilingual counselors. I think they also are very supportive in learning how to manage SEL better and support our students. So I think that's been a very good piece. You can see that, we've had a reduction in all HIBs. The main concern is still looking at the students in the 5th and 6th grade. That is probably one of the most, I think, difficult times as a young person. Why? Because you get the world of social media meeting, your inability to manage your words. And I think that's what we're trying to look at as we do this. So I wanted to show you that what we're getting is the great scores last year should be even better, because we had near perfect scores last year in 23-24. Smalley is the one place last year where we were missing 4 points because, there were an excessive number of HIBs. But so here, unfortunately, it's cut off the way it goes. So at Lamont Annex, it was a 78 out of 78, right? We did not have any HIBs last year at Lamont. We did have one HIB this year. So Lafayette, again, 78 out of 78. Why? No HIBs last year, no HIBs this year. So Smalley was the only one where we scored 4 points off. Why? Because at that school, we were seeing an increase in confirmed HIBs from 23-24. We've seen the decrease, as I showed you this year, because of all the things that we're doing. So this report is really the verified data of 23-24. And also I'm giving you what we did with that data, which is to make distinct changes that are seen in our numbers. And it's something I think we've talked about in executive session. And then in the high school, it was a 76 last year because we had 27 HIBs. But that's why I really wanted to, and I'll end with this, go back to that screen. For me, we had 24 HIBs reported last year at the high school. High school is a very difficult time as well, but 9 reported. And I think that really comes from the pieces that we're putting in place. We have Dr. Joyce. We have counselors who are having more proactive conversations with students. And I think we have the social emotional learning going on. So that's where we are for this report. So I think for me, the key is together we thrive. right? That's really the main part of our whole strategic plan. And we're seeing that in numbers, real numbers. And the reduction of HIBs, the reduction in confirmed HIBs, and for me, the way that we're supporting our students so that they feel safe to learn. So are there any questions about that and where we are for 23, 24, as well as you get a snippet of 20 feet of 24, 25? Yes, sir.
So looking at the numbers, I see a really big decrease, as you pointed out, 29% in reports.
Yes.
The confirmed,
It's not.
only a difference of 5 from 38 to 33.
Yes.
So my question is twofold. Number one, is the state more concerned with reported or founded? And secondly, what are we attributing that to in the report? It's such a big difference in reporting, because it seems like, if I just look at the numbers, we're getting less unfounded reports. In other words, it's as if we're getting better at reporting the right things
Yes.
and not the wrong things. So what's the state saying
Thank
about
you.
that, and how is that happening?
So you asked the question and kind of answered. I think we're doing a better job of, again, we can't control when a HIB is reported because a parent can report it at any time.
We are doing better at it.
Right. And I think for me, what may have happened, when I start to look at it, the teacher's reporting is something that's more direct and focused. So that's something where I know one conversations that I did have was you don't articulate that could be an HIB to a student in passing, right? It's just not something that you say. So we're being much more conscientious about, like I said, the words that you choose are important. So teachers need to understand that that's not something that we utilize as a sort of way to sort of manage. It's not a classroom management strategy to say, watch out, that could be an HIB. Because then, again, that could lead to us having to have an HIB. So I think we've done a better job that way. Oops, I think I hit this. So I think you are right. For me, the key for us is to really go into the founded ones and understand what it is that's consistent amongst them, and then try to support it that way.
And my other question was, as far as what's being reported to the state, or, why we lost those 4 points, is that based on reporting or founding or both?
It's a combination of both, yeah. So it's that whole idea of, for me, when you get increases from year to year, and it's also, we're self-reporting this, yes. Yeah, so this is all self-reported. So we are, telling them what we have and what we found. Yep. That's where we are. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? Yeah. Well, technically there's 22. Right. So you could say 2,100, but what I was looking at was, where they get reported most are Smalley, CMS, and the high school. So that's 450, 250, 700 rounding up. And that's about 1,400. Over 180 days, thinking about all the interactions that you're having during the day with other people. Yeah, so no, we do have a few students who are 3 or above, and we really, at Smalley, we have 1 or 2 students. I mean, anecdotally, I can say we have 1 or 2 who are at the 3. So we had 2 students this year who had 3 or more. I mean, so it was 3, not more. And then we had, right, when you get 3 or more, we have to create an action plan, which we did. So at CMS, we had 1. At the high school, we had none. So we had 3 students who had 3 or more. So the others are 1 or 2. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
I mean, some of them are at this late state of the year.
Yes.
Do they get followed then through to the next school?
Great question. Absolutely. Yeah, that was one of the main pieces. We had a few within the past month where they hit the 3 mark. like you said. So we've already set up on the schedule for September 9th, the meetings to have a mentor set up. For a couple of them, we will literally have a mentor. We actually have students coming down from the high school to work with those students as a way of supporting them, and to build camaraderie and to teach them pieces. So that was a component that we do. So literally, I have on my calendar 3 meetings planned for September 9th to do that. So we will be focusing on supporting those students.
Do we think it would be helpful to look at these numbers in comparison to just incidences where something has happened that is not necessarily considered again, and look at the numbers? And because I feel like that also shows
Discipline, sure.
how we report it, where something may have been an incident and now it's being qualified as a failure. I don't know if you think that that's a helpful number to look at, like year over year of incidences compared to this.
Yeah.
To see how we've gone with incidences with a small percentage of those numbers. I think it would be a good number to be able to see as well, if that's possible.
Yeah, and like I said, our collaboration is ongoing, and we just started another collaboration. So for me, I could sit down with the administration at each place and say, let's look at some of your discipline records and then break them down by category. Again, discipline can, not necessarily lead to an HIB, but we could, and yeah, absolutely, we could analyze the discipline and then compare it to what we see with the HIBs.
Numbers are fabulous. Numbers are awesome. I'm just curious to see how the overall incident numbers also compare.
Yeah, and I need to be really reinforcing that this is where parents could be doing this. So there are multiple places where these reports could have come from. It's not just from students. A parent could have been making these. So we are setting up, I think, an environment or a culture where parents are being supported, and their students are being supported, and they're not feeling the need to go to this road. So parents could be doing it, students could be doing it, teachers could be doing it, administration could be doing it. So those who can report an HIB are multi-layered. So it's not just relying on a student to be doing it. Oftentimes it's really not the students. We do have a lot of teachers, we do have a lot of parents. And then of course the students do report it. But so that I think is an important element. Again, we're back to the wolves, what we focus on and what we feed. So, thank you for the idea. We will focus on that. Other questions? Thank you. Yep.
Okay, everybody ready? Okay. Okay, up next, we have our student board member report. You have anything for us, Mr. Russell?
Hello. So for this month, for sports news, girls softball has ended their season as the sectionals Group 1 state champions, as well as second in all-team conference. Congratulations to these ladies for working so hard this season, really putting Bound Brook on the map. 3 of our Bound Brook softball athletes, Rachel Gurjeski, Isabella Maruziak, and Kate Kuna, were selected for first-team all-conference athletes. This award honors athletes who show outstanding performances in their sport throughout their season. So congratulations yet again. The spring boys and girls track and field season has come to an end, with many athletes placing at sectionals, moving up to groups. One of our top athletes, Dawson John Baptiste, placed for New Balance Outdoor Nationals and gave me the following sentiment about it. He said that New Balance Outdoor Nationals was very exciting. The stadium was big and there was a lot of people in the audience. He got to the sand pit and it was just the jumpers, and basically the whole field was empty. There was a lot of opportunities for college coaches and recruiters to reach out to the athletes. Hopefully, track and field will be able to continue this and send athletes to more opportunities such as outdoor nationals next year. The boys soccer team has had their first practice today at the field, beginning a new and hopeful season with many new players and even more returning players. As for our school news, we've had a lot as the year has come to an end. So first, we have graduation. On June 18th at the football field, the graduating senior class of 2025 got their diplomas and celebrated their hard work and dedication towards academics. They also celebrated senior awards, which took place in the theater on June 5th, with many of our seniors earning scholarships and prestigious awards to honor their hard work over the past 4 years. Brook has had their first ever Friendship Day on June 12th at the field, which was a field day full of fun activities with the goal of spreading positivity and enhancing our school's environment. There was also the varsity banquet, which took place on May 28th, celebrating the hard work and dedication of varsity athletes here at the high school. We also had our third blood drive of the year, which took place on June 3rd with 86 total donations. The junior and senior prom took place at the Park Villa on the 22nd of May, with over 150 students coming together to celebrate and dance with their friends. There was also a National Thespian Honor Society induction on June 12th, which honors performing arts students who has put at least 100 hours into their performances. There was also a National English Honor Society induction on June 10th, which honored students who excel in the English language. And finally, many students from the high school took part of the annual New Jersey Torch Run, running from the start of the high school all the way to ShopRite. And that's it.
Thank you. I also want to point out, since you mentioned softball, that I think it was just yesterday I saw online that Coach DeLuca was also named the Courier News Softball Coach of the Year this year. So. And thank you for your report. Any questions for Mr. Musson? No? Okay, then we're going to move to committee reports. We're starting with education with Mr. Dawson.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. We had an awesome education meeting a couple weeks ago. We had the pleasure of hearing from some of our high school students in the AVID program, and to say we were impressed, I think, is an understatement. So the kids told us all about the program and how it benefits them, and a few things were really clear to us. One is that it's more than just a program. It opens opportunities for our kids, teaches them about options they may have after high school. In many cases, brings their family along for the journey as well. It exposes kids to college, career options, and also really important skills, particularly executive functioning skills. So the kids are able to share with us some very practical ways the program helps them. They have a standardized way of taking notes. They have a formal way of identifying what's causing them to be confused or misunderstand a concept and how to seek help. It's clear the program has a lot of alignment, and it was neat to see the perspective of the freshmen, all the seniors, and it's clear that the teachers are aligned in their practice and that the students are indeed growing and progressing through the program. The students were articulate, positive, enthusiastic, and we were all very excited to hear about their experiences and excited that our district offers that program. And that was our education meeting.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions, comments for Mr. Dawson? I was in attendance at that meeting. I have to say it was very impressive. The presentations were really great. Very impressive. I'm next on governance, and it was very short. This will take just a minute. We first discussed the superintendent evaluation, which you know has been completed and will be presenting to Dr. Freeman tonight in executive session. We also very briefly discussed our next options on board trainings. I'm going to be reaching out to some of you just to get some ideas. We're thinking as a committee, are there any other resources besides NJSBA that we might want to go out and look for? We don't know that they exist. I did a quick Google search and didn't find anything, but they may be out there. Of course, our concern then would be, do we get the credits for them if we don't go through NJSBA, and we don't know the answer to that? So I'll reach out to all of you through email. I do have to dig up that, I took that survey, maybe it's been a year ago at this point, of what content we'd like to be trained on. So I'll reach out to all of you on that. We do know that there are consultants out there, but again, we have to find them, and we just don't know if we'll get credit. So that was really all we discussed at governance. It was very short this month. Any questions for me? All right, that brings us to HR. Ms. High?
So we start every HR meeting looking at just the spreadsheet with new hires, resignations, et cetera. And just happy to say that we're on our way to filling the open positions. And you're going to see a number of them tonight on the agenda. And we're encouraged to see the number of applicants that are looking to join into Bound Brook. So that's an ongoing process. And it truly is, when they say a live document, it's a live document because it's ever changing. We also discussed extracurricular amendments, and it was addressing some corrections. There was one where we had 2 coaches for 1 position, so that pay had to be split between the 2. So that was one of the things. And just ensuring that all the clubs and the extracurriculars were listed accurately. We also talked about the job description for the ESL supervisor. And we just discussed the draft of that, and which now has been implemented. And our ESL supervisor is going to help to bring all the aspects to the department that are mandated, so that we are following everything that we need to for the state. There's also going an HR title change, which will be an HR change to HR specialist. And with this change, this person will then be reporting directly to the superintendent. And that is it for HR.
Okay, thank you for your report. Does anyone have any questions for Ms. High? Ms. High, by the way, while I have your attention, was there Somerset County this month?
Yes.
Okay, well, stand by. Next is operations with Mr. Zupko.
Okay, operations was a great short meeting. So we discussed 3 main things. We discussed the high school sign. Committee members deliberated on the district initiative to replace the old high school sign. They discussed the style and design. They also considered funding opportunities, and additionally, the district initiative to replace all the remaining electronic signs was discussed. Contract with Legacy Studios for photo and yearbook services. As per the request of committee member Ms. Gazino, the committee discussed specific disappointments with the previous year's yearbooks as they discussed the possibility of switching vendors. I've also had a number of constituents come up to me and discuss this as well. Dr. Freeman will also collaborate with the yearbook advisor to express the committee's expectations. And finally, collaborative discussion between Dr. Freeman and the municipality. Dr. Freeman entertained the committee's interest in shared services with the town. He mentioned the outcome of recent meetings intended to share mainly facility upgrade costs with town. More communication will continue as progress is being made. And that ends Mr. Vice President Operations meeting notes. Any questions?
Wow, Mr. Zupko, that was great. Very concise. Done.
I was under an hour.
That was very well done. Very well done. Any questions there? Okay, Ms. High, we're back to you with Somerset County Ed Services.
Mine is not as brief, I'm sorry. So we met on June 4th, and the Somerset County Ed Services Commission, they do their reorganization in June. Unlike us, we do it in January, so we went through all of the things that need to be addressed there. They had the election of the Board of Directors, and this is comprised of representatives from each district that sends students to the ESC. bum, bum, bum. Oh, pleased to share with you that I am going to be serving as the vice president. So, well, thank you. And in addition, going to be on the committee serving NJSBA as well. The enrollment presently at ESC is 165 students. They started the year with 135. So that's a pretty good increase. There were 28 graduates this year. They had two ceremonies. They had the graduation ceremony for the seniors, and then they had the 8th grade move up. It's a smaller population, but it was just a nice ceremony. Both ceremonies were very nice. Their ESY program has 60 students presently. There was a new vice principal hired, so now there is a principal and vice principal on each of the floors. For the facilities, they're updating the classroom capacity. They have reorganized where the counselors are to make more room for students. And that is it.
That wasn't too bad. Okay, anybody have any questions for Ms. High? And lastly, we have Mr. Incalcatera. Anything from Southbound?
Yes, actually.
All right.
On June 13th, we had the 8th grade graduation in Memorial Park. At our most recent board meeting, we released our NJSPA strategic plan. We accomplished our superintendent review, and we prepped for the roof, which is going to be starting in 2 weeks. Materials are being delivered currently. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Incalcatera? No? Okay, then we move on to section 5. We are up to open to the public for agenda items only. I will read the rules just in case anyone would like to speak. In accordance with District Policy 0167, public participation in board meetings, members of the public are required to sign in either at the podium, providing their name, address, and group affiliation if applicable. When addressing the board, please state your name and address and limit comments to agenda items only, directed to the presiding officer. Each participant is allowed 3 to 5 minutes to speak. No individual may address the same topic more than once until all others wishing to speak have had an opportunity to do so. Is there anyone who would like to speak on agenda items? Okay, come on up. Just sign in for us.
Good evening. My name is Constance Charleston. I live at 219 West High Street. My son just graduated, and I still have one child left in the district who's in the high school. I am glad to see that under operations, there was mention of the yearbook. When we received that for the substantial price of $75 per yearbook, I spent $150, and I did question, what did I purchase? Pages 30 to 31, there were 2 full pages of what was quoted camera shy seniors. So I was a little surprised to see the number of seniors. I'm sure there were other factors that went into that. Looking at the time frame, we start in September, we end in June. My expectation was there would have been some mechanism to accomplish perhaps getting those pictures taken. And of course, I don't know all the details regarding that. The second thing was that on page 119, there were 14 clubs that were camera shy. Number 14 was the yearbook club. That to me spoke out very clearly that there is an issue, because if not even the yearbook club, which should have been, to my knowledge, meeting on a regular, could assemble to get a photo opportunity, that just spoke volumes to me. I did not expect to see the yearbook club listed there. There were other locations where I thought that you would have listed the name of club members. So there were some spots where they were listed, some not. I mean, there's been notice taken. There are various areas. The other thing is, I'm a person who happens to like a lot of color. I've been to back to school nights and different events. You have some very artistic and gifted students. And it would be nice to see some of that presented on the pages as backgrounds. I mean, even if it's something that's not on a canvas, whether it's a photograph. I mean, another item, if somebody does some type of a clay vase, you can photograph that. That could become highlighted. Just some suggestions. But that is the one item that spoke to me very clearly. And I thought that I'm very happy to hear you're going to look at another company going forward.
Yes, in addition to that, we're going to put some timelines in place and some measures to take care of just the issues that you discussed. It was really discussed extensively at the committee meeting, and the same concerns were shared. So we're going to put a plan in place for next year to make sure that doesn't happen going forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. That moves us to item 6.1, which is approval of minutes. Be it resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education, upon recommendation of the superintendent, approves the minutes of the following meetings: regular and executive meeting minutes of May 21st, 2025. Can I have a motion? Is that Mr. Dawson? And a second? Motion. And thank you, Mr. Zupko. Any comments, concerns about the minutes? Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Bell?
Abstain, I was not here that meeting.
So noted. Thank you. Mr. Dawson? Yes. Ms. Gazino? Yes. Ms. High? Yes. Mr. Incalcatera? Yes. Mr. Minhas? Yes. Ms. Moosen? Yes. Mr. Volmer? And Mr. Zupko? Motion passes.
Thank you. We move to item 7.1. Be it resolved, the superintendent recommends for approval the resolutions as outlined in district personnel resolutions 7.2 to 7. This might be a record, 73. So hopefully you've had time to read them over. If you haven't, I'll give you a second to take a look in case you have notes and you want to comment. But while you're looking, can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Incalcatera, and a second. Thank you, Ms. High. I'll give you a second before we ask for comments. Okay, did anybody have any comments or questions on those 72 items?
Yes, I have to abstain from 7.40.
Okay. Anyone else? Don't want to go too fast on this one, but seeing none. And we have a roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Mr. Dawson? Yes. Ms. Gazino?
Yes.
Ms. High?
Yes.
Mr. Incalcatera? Yes. Mr. Minhas? Yes. Ms. Moosen? Yes. Mr. Volmer? Yes. And Mr. Zupko, it's noted you're abstaining on 7.40. How do you vote on the rest? Yes. Thank you, sir. Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving to 8.1, approval of district education resolutions. Be it resolved, the Bound Brook Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in district education resolutions. These are 8.2 just to 8.5. Can I have a motion? Thank you, Mr. Incalcatera. And a second? Who was that? Was that Mr. Minhas? Thank you, Mr. Minhas. Any questions? We're all good? Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Mr. Dawson? Yes. Ms. Gazino?
Yes.
Ms. High?
Yes.
Mr. Incalcatera? Yes. Mr. Minhas? Yes. Ms. Moosen? Mr. Volmer? And Mr. Zupko? Yes. Motion passes.
Okay, 9.1, board action resolutions. Be it resolved, the Bound Brook Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in board action resolutions. This is 9.2 through 9.55. Can I have a motion? Thank you, Ms. High. Second? Thank you, Ms. Gazino. Well, I'll give you a second on this. Has 54, so go ahead and take a second.
So I have a question on 9.7. Is this
Yes.
the same organization that we've been with?
It is.
And
Go ahead.
I just have concerns. I'll leave it at that.
Yes. Mr. Gorski, can we
Mr. Bell,
table?
motion to table is a priority motion. Who moved the motion?
Who wants credit for the motion on tabling?
You could put me.
Ms. High said
Minhas?
table it? Is that your motion? Okay, Ms. High for the motion and a second? And Mr. Minhas seconds.
Who was the one who moved the motion?
Ms. High.
Ms. High, I beg your pardon. Okay. Moved by Ms. High, seconded by Mr. Minhas. We'll take a roll call on tabling the motion. Mr. Bell,
Yes.
Mr. Dawson. Yes. Ms. Gazino,
Yes.
Ms. High,
Yes.
Mr. Incalcatera. Mr. Minhas. Ms. Moosen. Mr. Volmer. And Mr. Zupko.
Yes.
Item has been tabled.
Okay. Were there any questions or comments on anything else in section 9?
Sue has a.
934, was that? Yeah.
We're going with another company, and we don't start with them until July, so they're going to give us that month.
Okay. Anyone else? I know there was a donation. Oh, there it is, 43, yes. Wanted to publicly thank them for their donation of movie tickets and candy from My Good Works, Inc.
One of the things that's on the agenda this month is, and I'm looking for the actual one, I want to say it's 52. It's the donation from the Alumni Association for the
yes.
Athletic Hall of Fame. This is huge. If you look by the gymnasium where all of that is, I mean, it goes back years and years, and I'll tell you truly, it's something that everybody who has come to Brook High is so proud of. But the Alumni Association is redoing the entire thing, and in a really big way. It's their contribution. Can I say how much it is? It's in there.
Yeah, it's in there.
$45,000 that is going to really update this thing. It's going to look spectacular.
Yeah, the renderings are amazing.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure,
and
yeah.
yes, and thank you for all the graphics that really showed how it's going to be executed. It's just very exciting to see that, and that the position of it, like you'll see the gymnasium, and boom, you'll see it right there. It's just going to be wonderful. So, a big thank you to the Brook Alumni Association. Thank you so much.
Definitely.
Mr. Gorski, question for 9.10. Does there have to be an abstention on the members that will be attending?
Which one is that?
Yes, sir. If that's the Atlantic City workshop or school board's workshop,
I think it is.
it's always recommended to abstain.
So
We
from
may
your-
have a problem. Do we have enough people to vote in that case?
If you-
I
1,
don't
2, 3,
know.
4, 5.
'Cause
Five of us are
yeah.
attending. Is that okay? If 5 of us abstain?
You would be abstaining on your individual participation, not the group vote on the whole resolution.
Oh, okay.
You-
I see.
There would only be one abstention for you personally, and it would still pass.
So I would
I
need
see.
to abstain on 9.10.
But only on yourself,
On
not
just
on the
just
rest
on
of us
myself.
attending. Right.
Just on myself
So not on, okay. That makes sense.
and whoever, you know.
Anything else? It's an eventful section 9.
Mr. Bell?
Yes.
If I may just highlight two items in the report. 9.44 is a very detailed technical resolution to approve the lease purchasing financing subsequent to public bidding, where Webster Bank had the low bid of 3.57% for an interest rate for a 5-year lease purchase. And 9.48 is the culmination of a very interesting bidding process for custodial services. And what had happened here was the low bid, the second lowest bid, and the third lowest bid all refused to accept the contract when offered it. So we are now at the fourth lowest bid, who happens to be Pritchard Industries, for a slight increase to where their rate was this year. So it's still well within the budget, but it was just a very unorthodox process to get here.
I'm just curious, as I'm not familiar with these processes, is that common that they would put a number to bid and then not accept their own number? That seems very strange.
No, that, not recommended to be tabled because we need to award that, but we're not going to have schools cleaned on July 1st. The good thing is I confirm with Pritchard Industries, they are able to perform the contract. It's still their staff they're assuming back, and they'll be paying some accrued wages and accrued bonuses to these staff that, simply put, was unattractive to the first three low bidders. Mr. Merriman, would you like to add?
Yeah, I mean, you're in this position right now. Theoretically, you could award it to one of the other low bidders with the understanding they're going to refuse to perform. The problem you're going to have is July 1, you'll have nobody in the schools. And until you either force that vendor to honor the contract, which they've already acknowledged they're not going to. So you would basically go down the list, which come to Pritchard, who is willing to honor their bid, and they're currently the vendor. So I think in order to avoid the problem that for the summer you have no custodial services, I think I would join with Mike in recommending the next low bidder with the understanding that the other ones have acknowledged in writing that they are not going to honor their bid.
Okay. Anything else from section 9? No? Okay, so with that, we need a vote noting that 9.7 has been tabled. Mr. Gorski.
Yes, sir. Okay, Mr. Bell.
Yes,
Mr.
abstaining. I'm sorry?
I beg your pardon, abstain on,
On 9.10, my own travel expenses.
so noted. Mr. Dawson. Ms. Gazino.
Yes.
Ms. High.
Yes, abstain on 9.10.
So noted. Mr. Incalcatera. Mr. Minhas. Ms. Moosen. Mr. Volmer. Thank you. And Mr. Zupko.
Yes, with an abstention on 9:10.
And these abstentions are clearly just for your participation, not the rest of the group in the resolution.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Acting Board President, motion passes.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to 10 other matters to come before the board and new business. I didn't hear anything, but does anyone have anything to bring to the board?
I just wanted to congratulate administration, the upper administration's principals. The graduation ceremonies for 8th grade in the high school were incredible. The students were fantastic. The public was incredible. You couldn't have asked for a better situation. And I think, and I had mentioned this to Dr. Freeman, I think going forward, the high school graduation at night was really spectacular with the lights. And I couldn't tell you how excited I was for all of the parents in the audience, how everyone was just so excited. And the security, we want to thank the Bound Brook Police Department. They were there, and EMS was there. So it was just an incredible night. And I just wanted to thank the parents, the principals, administration, but specifically all of our students that did such a great job representing Bound Brook. And I know that I speak for the board that we want to wish everyone well, and you've done us proud. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zupko. And I agree that the night ceremony was great. I know that was a difficult decision at the time. We weren't sure indoor, later with the weather what was going to happen, and it turned out really well, better than I think we had hoped. And not that our vote counts for much, but I agree. I think an 8 o'clock ceremony going forward would be awesome for sure. And it was a little bit cooler. Yes, it has been hot out there some years for sure. Anything else? Okay, then we are going to go to section 12. I'm not going to read the whole comment again, but it's the same rules, 3 to 5 minutes. Does anybody have anything from the floor? come on up.
Constance Charleston, 219 West High Street, Bound Brook. Both are referring to graduation, one of which was for the high school. Personally, I would have liked to have known, for example, when I got the notice for high school that gave details on how my son could decorate his cap and if he could wear a stole, what was appropriate. With that much detail, it would have been really nice to have known ahead of time, this is the backup plan. And, how many people would be allowed to attend if the backup plan was enacted ahead of time. We're in a position this year where we have several family members out of state who, due to other health concerns, et cetera, were not able to come. But we also have our New Jersey family. And, sometimes we have people who are driving, in excess of an hour, hour and a half. So for us, and that's personal, it differs from person to person, but it really would have been nice to have that clearly stated somewhere. This is the backup plan, this is where it is. And to be honest, my son came home with his cap and gown on a Friday. He had 4 invitations. My first question to him was, so if this is held indoors, we've had a lot of rain, does that mean you get 4 people attending? He goes, no, I don't know why I have 4. I think it's only 2. So I did clarify that with the high school when I called the following week. But, to me, that made sense. If I have 4 invitations, that was my first thought. I don't know if any other parent had that thought. So that is something going forward. It'd be kind of nice to have that clarified. The second item is, and I had spoken with Miss Jordan at the high school, but I've noticed this because I attended both the 8th grade and the high school graduation. Both times there was somebody taking photos on the field. A couple parents had mentioned it to me who had 8th graders, and some of the response they got was nobody seemed to know who this was. When I spoke with Miss Jordan at the high school, nobody knew who that was. Maybe somebody from the Career News. What I put out to her was that I understand clearly when she shared with me the budget is already set for next year. This district doesn't do, some districts do a bigger project graduation, which is totally, much bigger than what I'm proposing. But she said if I had any suggestions to contact her, because I was thinking along the lines of, wouldn't it be nice for graduation if, and I'd be willing to work with somebody through the school, or if we could get some other parent volunteers, to have somebody photograph each student as they receive their diploma. And you know what? I actually kind of did a little research because I haven't looked into this, but somebody said there's something called Class Wish. I'm not certain if that would cover anything towards any type of photographer fees, or, we can get somebody locally to donate some time. Because the other thing it would be nice if a parent had the option to purchase that photo. I know that there's New Jersey State Council on the Arts. I don't know if through the year, this probably isn't the time of year that they would be posting. If maybe that's somewhere where there'd be some type of funding. And there's the New Jersey School Board Association. I know they have something, innovative projects. I don't know if that would pertain to graduation. As I said, I just started looking at it. But I did tell her I was willing to assist with something. And you know what? Even if it was something smaller, that as you come in the gate, if we had 3 balloon arches where people can do like a 2-3 minute pause and a photo with their, child in the gown or something. I mean, if we get something bigger accomplished, I just want to put it out there that I am more than willing. And I don't know how long volunteer fingerprints are valid for. That kind of slips my memory. I was fingerprinted last year for the 8th grade trip. I had to have knee surgery, did not go, but I don't know if I would need to be re-fingerprinted. But if we can, I would definitely be interested and, work with somebody towards something. Because I think that every year at graduation, our students, even when my last one graduates in 3 years, I think every year is important for our students. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Okay, thank you. Points well taken.
You're
We'll,
welcome.
I think you have really good ideas, something we had talked about after the graduation, but we'll definitely look at putting those things in place, and I'll reach out back out to you to let you know how you could help us.
Okay,
All
great.
right.
Thank you. I would greatly appreciate that because, I mean, to me, the sooner, and I would more than willing be
Absolutely.
available. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for your comments. Okay, anybody else? Okay, then our next item is to move to executive session. Resolve the Bound Brook Board of Education enter executive session as allowed by NJSA. Sorry about this. 10-4-11 for the purpose of Mr. Merriman.
Number 1, 4, 7, and 8.
Ooh, big one tonight. 1, 4, 7, and 8. Can I have a motion? Thank you, Mr. Incalcatera, and a second. Second, I believe we just go all in favor this time, right, Mr. Gorski?
Yes, sir.
All in favor? Aye. We are in executive.
Okay, so I'm going to leave that and take a walk with me to closed session.
Okay, we are back from executive session. The first thing that we need to do, I need to ask for a motion to formally recognize that we met with the superintendent and reviewed his evaluation. Motion from Mr. Incalcatera. We'll give the second to Ms. High. Do we roll call that? Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
She had to step out.
Yes.
Thank you. We do not have to move anything on 14 because we didn't have any high school Hibs this month. So we move to 15. Item 15.1, be it resolved, the Brook Board of Education, the approval of the resolutions as outlined in approval of Hib cases under middle and elementary schools. That's 15.2. Can I have a motion? Thank you, Mr. Dawson. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Zupko. Can, I guess we don't have comments on Hibs. So can we? This is the last roll call for Mr. Gorski. Yes, because a German is not a roll call. Yes. This is it.
It's a lot of pressure. Mr. Bell,
Yes.
Mr. Dawson, Ms. Gazino, Ms. High, Mr. Incalcatera, Mr. Minhas, Ms. Moosen, Mr. Volmer, Mr. Zupko,
The last one, yes.
You know, you could have just
Mr.
held it and he would never
Mr.
leave.
Acting Board President, motion passes, and a sincere and heartfelt thank you to the board members for all of your service to the board.
Okay. And with that, the Brook Board of Education adjourns. Can I have a motion? Mr. Zupko in a second. Yeah, before we adjourn, that's right. Actually, our new BA is actually in attendance and has waited all this time. So welcome officially and congratulations to you. Thank you for waiting while we sat in there for an hour or whatever that was. That's very, and she's kind. How nice. Okay, we had a second. I think it was Ms. Gazino. Okay. And all in favor of adjournment? Aye. We are adjourned.
Thank you.